Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the news from Saba Satellite Channel from Arab. Let's begin with the headlines.
President Al-Alimi urges unified international stance to support the legitimate government.
PLC member Al-Arada warns of Houthi threats, urges stronger international support.
Damascus celebrates first anniversary of Syria's liberation with large military parade. Welcome back and to the details. President Dr. Rashad Mohammed Al-Alimi, President of the Presidential Leadership Council, sent a cable of congratulations to President Ahmed al-Shara of the Syrian Arab Republic on the occasion of his country's Liberation Day anniversary.
In the message, President Al-Alimi, on behalf of the Council members and the government, extended his heartfelt congratulations, wishing President al-Shara a good health and happiness, and expressing hopes for continued progress and prosperity for the government and people of Syria. He also wished for the strengthening and growth of bilateral relations between the two brotherly nations.
President Dr. Rashad Mohammed Al-Alimi met an aid with ambassadors of countries nurturing the political process in Yemen. In the presence of the Prime Minister, he welcomed their support and stressed that partnership with the international community is a shared responsibility to protect state institutions and prevent the rise of parallel authorities.
Al-Alimi briefed the ambassadors on developments in the Eastern Governorates, warning that the unilateral actions by the Southern Transitional Council violate the transitional framework, undermine unified security and military decision-making, and pose a serious threat to Yemen's stability and the entire political process. He praised Saudi Arabia's efforts to de-escalate tensions in Hadramaut, but expressed concern over continued unilateral military movement. The president warned that instability in Hadramaut and Al-Mahra could lead to severe economic and humanitarian crisis, including salary disruptions and fuel shortages.
Al-Alimi called for a clear, unified international position rejecting unilateral measures and supporting the legitimate government as the sole authority responsible for protecting national interests. The ambassadors reaffirmed their full support for the Presidential Leadership Council, the government, and the Yemenis' unity and stability.
Presidential Leadership Council member Lieutenant General Sultan Al-Arada held a virtual meeting with the ambassadors of the United Kingdom and France to Yemen and discuss the latest developments in the country. Al-Arada reviewed current field challenges and their serious impact on Yemen's stability and the wider region. He warned that actions outside national consensus give the Iran-backed Houthi militia an opportunity to expand its influence and undermine national and UN efforts.
He stressed the need for intensified international support for President Dr. Rashad Al-Alimi and the government to protect social peace and maintain internal unity. Al-Arada also highlighted that Houthi threats now extend beyond Yemen, posing risks to global economic and trade interests.
He reaffirmed that any political process must adhere to the three key references: the Gulf Initiative, national dialogue outcomes, and UN Security Council resolution, especially 2216. The UK and French ambassadors reiterated their country's firm support for the Presidential Council and the government.
Member of the Presidential Leadership Council, Abdul Rahman Al-Muharrami, held a series of high-level meetings at Al-Maashiq Palace in the temporary capital, Aden, focusing on both security stability and the country's economic situation.
In his meeting with Minister of Interior Major General Ibrahim Haidan, Al-Muharrami reviewed the latest security developments in the liberated governorates. He received a detailed briefing on the current security environment, the performance of security agencies, and the challenges they continue to face. The minister also outlined measures to boost readiness and enhance vigilance to prevent any potential breaches. Al-Muharrami emphasized the need to intensify security efforts and strengthen coordination among all security bodies to maintain the stability currently witnessed in Aden and other liberated areas.
In a separate meeting, Al-Muharrami met with the governor of the Central Bank of Yemen, Ahmed Ghalib Al-Ma'baqi, to review the latest economic indicators. During the briefing, he was updated on efforts to stabilize the local currency, improve citizens' living conditions, and push forward with ongoing financial and economic reforms. Al-Muharrami reaffirmed the importance of a strict implementation of fiscal reforms, and in turn, all public revenues are disposed into the central bank in Aden to enable effective monetary policy.
Speaker of Parliament Sheikh Sultan Al-Barakani, accompanied by members of the House, visited Taiz today to assess the governorate's overall situation. The delegation inspected key historic landmarks, the Muzaffar and Ash-Sharafiya mosques, and received briefings on their cultural importance and preservation needs. Al-Barakani also toured Al-Qahira Castle, reviewing the severe war damage caused by years of Houthi shelling and siege. Military commanders updated him on the humanitarian tool, frontline conditions, and the readiness of forces defending the city.
The speaker expressed deep sorrow over Taiz suffering, affirming that the tragedy will not last and that the Houthi militia is destined to vanish, emphasizing that Taiz unity and resilience remain its greatest strength. The delegation concluded with a field tour of several neighborhoods to review service needs.
A World Bank delegation visited today the auction halls, landing pier, and fish preparation and storage facilities at the Dockyard Fish Landing Center in Al Mualla district of the interim capital Aden. The delegation received a detailed briefing from Dr. Abdus Salam Ahmed, head of the Gulf of Aden Fishery Authorities, on operations across the center's facilities, the services offered the fishermen and the public, and the center's importance in supporting livelihoods and enhancing the fishing and marketing infrastructure in Aden.
The team also inspected the newly established Ice Planet at the center, built with the World Bank support through the UNDP and in cooperation with the Public Workers Project, which has a production capacity of 10 tons. They were briefed on the key components of the refrigeration project, considered a cornerstone for improving the value chain in the fisheries sector.
In the interim capital Aden, the 8th Women's Summit was launched today, organized by Wujud Foundation for Human Security in cooperation with international partners. The two-day summit brings together 240 women leaders from across the governorates, alongside decision makers, peace and transitional justice experts, and representatives of the international community. Decisions focus on the UN's role in supporting peace, the women's movement, the green economy, climate change issues, and successful women-led initiatives and in community and rights-based work.
Junta Veldman, First Secretary at the Netherlands Embassy, reaffirmed her country's commitment to supporting peace efforts and women's involvement in public life, praised Yemeni women leaders for controlling humanitarian and social challenges. Meanwhile, United Nations Women's Representative in Yemen, Dina Zurba, stressed that the summit is an important step toward strengthening women's engagement across all the tracks, calling for more inclusive policies that ensure protection, empowerment, and effective participation in building sustainable peace.
Flights at Aden International Airport resumed this evening with the departure of the Yemeni airline flight 648 on the Aden-Amman-Aden route. A source at the Ministry of Transport told Saba news agency that operations restarted after a temporary suspension caused by technical issues. He confirmed that the ministry's leadership, along with the Civil Aviation Authority and Yemeni Airlines, worked intensively to resolve the problem and restore normal flight operations.
The source apologized to travelers for the delay, noting that the disruption was beyond the ministry's control. He also confirmed that Yemeni flight schedules have been adjusted to ensure the continuation of the regular air services.
In the Syrian capital, Damascus, official and public celebration were held today in Umayyad Square, attended by President Ahmed al-Shara and several ministers, marking the first anniversary of Syria's liberation and the fall of the Assad regime. A major military parade set off of the Mazza airport, moving along with the Mazza highway toward Umayyad Square and ending at Al-Jamarik Square. Units from across the Ministry of Defense participated, showcasing the high readiness of the Syrian Arab Army to defend the country's unity and sovereignty.
The event featured army helicopters flying over Damascus, dropping flowers and paper messages with patriotic slogans, along with 14 paragliiders soaring above Umayyad Square in coordination with that parade. Thousands of citizens gathered, waving Syrian flags and chanting in celebration of liberation and the victory of the Syrian revolution. The area saw tight security measures to ensure the smooth running of the festivities.
For continuous updates, stay with Saba Satellite Channel. Thank you for watching and have a good time.